in these practices before Wednesday?
Absolutely. Things that we stressed, we took a look at, and I think we exceeded all of our goals that we kind of went into, focuses of the season. And so commended the guys today for trying to do what we asked, and showed a bunch of clips of us doing the right things, some good, some bad, but for the most part, we did better than we did last year and would have ranked very highly in last year's standing. So small sample size with 4 games in preseason, but accomplished some good things that we really want to work on.
What were the things you were happiest about, and what are the things you addressed here today?
Our pace, the rate of getting out in transition is really good. Fast break points are really good. Execution could be better for sure, and those numbers would have been even higher if we'd executed, but more so than the execution, the rate of us getting out in transition, playing with that pace was good. Offensive rebounds were increased during those 4 games, so another emphasis of ours. And then spacing was a big thing, and we generated a lot more corner threes just in the preseason already, and so getting to the proper spacing with the pace will lead to those shots.
I was going to ask you about the offensive rebounding. Nearly every guy I talked to said that's been a huge emphasis. Why is that, and what are some of the things you guys have been doing to help that?
Because we feel our offense can take a huge step if we are where we should be in that. The year before I got here, we were number 1. Last year, went to number 6, I think, and something that we feel with the effort and emphasis on that, we can be back at number 1. So, we were number 1 transition defense last year, and there's not a direct correlation between not getting back or getting back in transition and not sending guys to the glass. I think it's like the first layer of your transition defense to really attack the glass, and teams don't try to get out and run as much. And so we have the athletes to do it. We have guys that are naturally really good at it. It's just more so getting the guys that don't do it to break that habit. And so something we want to focus on and understand the importance of that to our offense.
You talked about ramping up minutes for Tari, Eason, and Steven Adams. Are they closer to being on regular minutes going into the season, or still be on a minute restriction?
I would say a little bit of both. We will see how they feel after these 5 days going into it. Both coming off injuries where one missed a full year, one missed a year and a half, and so we really see how their body reacts after the games. And some days they feel better, some days they're a little more stiff or sore, and so we got 6 and 8 nights coming out to start the season, so we'll take that into account. And whether they do miss a game or not, we'll pick and choose as far as that. But I wouldn't say any minute restriction, but we'll be conscious of not letting them run too long stretches out there.
You really had to rely on Fred quite a bit last year, just with Reed coming in and some of these guys getting a year of experience. How comfortable are you with the point guard position behind him?
I'm very comfortable. I think he does so much for us, but I think the growth of guys, like you mentioned, and Reed coming in, being another guy that makes the right decision more often than not, feel good about that. Besides the fact that you can kind of do it by committee at times with Jalen, Reed, those guys all handling, initiating, whether it's transition or half court. More so than relying on Fred, we want everybody to be able to get us into certain sets and initiate offense. And so as guys continue to grow in those areas and understand what we want in the half court, I think we'll have to rely on Fred much less, although he is one of the best in the league and what he does.
He played 37 minutes a game last year. Do you have kind of a target of where you'd like him to be now?
Not a specific number, but way less than that, obviously, and that's second highest of his career. But he's a guy that played minutes in Toronto if asked, and so he took that on himself last year to really help us grow in those areas. And so we understood it. Another coach on the floor, but would like to drop that number for sure.
You mentioned on Tari and Steven not let them run too long. Are you still going to have to on Wednesday stick to the 5-minute shifts, or can you?
No, I wouldn't say we would have to stick to the 5 minutes, but it's something we take into account. Fatigue and injuries come a lot of times when you're tired and the muscles are getting tired. And so with that much time off, we had a preseason where we did 5-minute stretches. We're not going to jump all the way up to 10-minute stretches or playing 38, 40 minutes or anything like that. So conscious of it, but it's not a 5-minute deal anymore. It's still going to be a shorter stretch, not as long as other guys, but when they're out there, we know they're effective. And so get them the rest and then get them back out.